A powerful light board such as the EOS with embedded visualization makes working with moving lights so much easier. Much, much easier. Oh my goodness. So much easier. To show you what I mean, we're going to take channel 5 at full. All right, 5 at full. And display the moving light controls. You'll see here that the light is currently pointing at the floor behind our shapes. It's not even lighting up our objects. Augmented can easily adjust the focus of the light by clicking and holding your mouse on the spot where you want the light to point. Holy cow! With that said, a quick caveat. This function doesn't work until after your display is selected, which is signified by this yellow line around the window. If a different panel has focus, so right here, you simply need to click on the display, and now you can click and hold on the visualization. So why don't you try it out? Select the augmented display, try to click and hold and drag, or as I like to say, a long click, and then drag. The light should follow your mouse around the space. And if you were working in a real room with real lights, with a visualization that matched real life, you would see the actual light move around just like on your computer. If that's not cool enough, as you're dragging your light around the space, you'll also notice that the light is focused to the floor. But if you wanted the light to focus on the actor, you'd be lighting up their feet. That's not good. Oh no. But if you, while holding, mouse scroll while dragging, EOS will raise the focus of the light above the location on the floor. And this height is signified by these little dots right here. So go ahead and try to focus the light to land right in front of the shapes. So I'm going to go here and lower the focus. Now, in the ML controls display, we're going to scroll over to the focus or form category, and here you'll see the zoom parameter. This will make the beam smaller and larger, like that. I'm going to try something like maybe a 30 degrees right here. By the way, you could also manually type in a value by pressing the zoom button right here. And now we can see channel 5 zoom, and we can give it a value such as 25 and hit enter, and you'll see that it automatically zooms. So you can do that, or using the wheel. In the ML controls, I want you to then scroll back to the zoom category, or the focus category. Here you'll see a Cartesian coordinate window. Don't worry, there's no math. The light board does all that for you. And you'll see some pan and tilt windows as well as X, Y, Z focus. That's really great for augmented. If you don't have a visualizer, the pan and tilt wheels are probably the best way to control the focus of moving light. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see what's going on here. Oops. There we go. Ooh, boo. Okay. So now you can actually see the light itself. So I'm going to send the entire thing all the way back home, like this. Okay. Here we go. If you're new to moving lights, I find that it helps to think about how a moving light moves by playing with the pan and the tilt values. I would always recommend starting with the tilt value. Here's why. If a light is pointing straight down, moving the light to the left or to the right just spins the light and it appears to do nothing. So you can see this guy right here. If I pan it, you can just see that he's spinning around and around and around. I'm going to hit home here. Tilting the light, even if it's just a little, will help allow the pan to provide a sense of direction. So here, I'm going to tilt the light. So scroll the tilt value up or down, making the light move forwards and backwards. Bring the light towards you or away. Then you can scroll the pan value. Move to the left and to the right. Now you can discern a little more tilt, makes a little bit more movement like that. As you do this, you'll probably notice the graph next to you. As you do the scroll wheels, the little yellow dot is moving around with your light. An alternative way to control both pan and tilt at the same time is by grabbing that little yellow dot and dragging it around. Why don't you try it out? Once again, I like to start by changing the tilt and then the pan. As you're doing this, you'll probably find that it's a little bit more natural to move the light to the location you intended to go this way. But you also might notice that the left and the right movement is opposite when you're north or south of the middle line, for example, here. This happens because a clockwise or a counterclockwise pan rotation means different directions when the light is tilted forwards or backwards. Oh my gosh, that's confusing. But this showcases a common problem. If the light pans or tilts in a direction that is opposite of what you expect, which usually happens when the light is hung facing the wrong direction, you can always click on the invert pan button. So for example, I'm moving to the left and it's going to the right, moving to the right, it's going to the left. I can hit invert pan, and now right is right, left is left, of course, unless I go here. Now it's opposite again. This also might be nice if you're used to natural scrolling or regular scrolling, or whatever. Anyway, one more technique in adjusting the light's beam, which is found under the form category. We've already played around with zooming light in and out, but we can also change the iris of the beam, or like adjust its sharpness, but only if the fixture has that ability. So you'll notice that this doesn't. So I'm going to take this guy out. And I'm going to take channel 1 to 65 because brightness of 100 would just be too stinking much. Okay, we can see that just fine. This is a different type of light, a profile light, if you will. If you scroll down to the form category, you'll see a few extra options now. The first is the iris. This is going to make the beam smaller or larger. This is kind of like a round shutter that blocks the light rather than actually zooming it in. Like it's kind of like a camera lens. Play around with that a little bit and maybe set the value to halfway. And it should get smaller, 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 and keep it back at max. Again, you can press the iris button home to go home, or you can always specify a specific iris amount if you type it in manually. Finally, some moving lights called profile lights can sharpen or soften their edges, much like a conventional ellipsoidal. In EOS, this parameter is called edge. Adjust channel 1's edge until the beam looks nice and sharp. So I'm going to zoom it so we can make it larger, smaller in the profile light. Now we can adjust the edge until we get to something nice and sharp like that. Oh my gosh. That's pretty great, huh? It gets better. Go to the next lesson.